Today we are digging into Lori Gottlieb's incredible memoir, Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. It's this amazing look behind the curtain of the therapy world, but from both sides of the couch.
You know, the famous psychiatrist Carl Jung said that, and it's so true, isn't it? We have this incredible knack for running away from ourselves.
And that's really the heart of this whole story. What happens when the person whose job it is to guide everyone else suddenly finds herself completely and totally lost?
To figure that out, we have to start right at the beginning with a crisis that comes out of nowhere and just completely flips her world upside down.
So let's meet Lori. She's a therapist. She spends her days in that chair, helping people put the pieces of their lives back together. She's the expert, but her own life, well, that's about to take a very sharp, very painful turn.
And this is the sentence that changes everything. Just completely out of the blue, her boyfriend hits her with this. It's not just a breakup line. It's a gut punch that basically ends their relationship because of her son.
So this isn't just a simple breakup. It's a total unraveling of her life as she knows it. The shock, the grief, it sends her into a tailspin, and she ends up doing the one thing she never thought she'd have to do. She goes looking for a therapist for herself.
And just like that, everything flips. The expert is now the patient, and she's about to see her own world from a totally different and frankly terrifying perspective.
And you can just imagine how disorienting that is. In her office, she's the one in control. She listens, she guides. But now, on the other couch, she's just confused. She's grieving. She is so vulnerable. It's a huge shift.
So she starts seeing this therapist named Wendell. And on his couch, all of her professional armor gets stripped away. He doesn't give her easy answers. Instead, he just helps her face that messy, painful, complicated reality of what it means to be human, which, of course, is the exact same stuff her own patients bring to her every single day.
Now, this is where things get really fascinating. Because as Lori is trying to sort through her own crisis, she starts to see her own reflection in the stories of her patients.
Okay, let's talk about John. He is a piece of work. A big-shot Hollywood producer who is just full of himself and uses this kind of abrasive humor to keep everyone at arm's length, especially himself.
But John's just one part of this human puzzle. Lori's also seeing Julie, this wonderful young woman who's just gotten married, and now she's facing a terminal diagnosis. Then you've got Rita, an older woman who's so full of regret she wants to end her life. And Charlotte, who keeps getting tangled up with the wrong guys and numbing her pain.
And here's the key, right? Through their stories, their struggles with love, with loss, with finding meaning, Lori starts to see herself. Their pain becomes a mirror for her own, and she realizes that the things she thought were uniquely her problems, they're just part of being human.
This all leads to one of the most beautiful metaphors in the entire book. It's like a new map for your life when the old one gets torn to shreds.
It really boils down to this question. What do you do? What do you actually do when the life you so carefully planned just vanishes?
Well, the answer comes from this story. Imagine you've spent your whole life dreaming of a trip to Italy. You've learned the language, you've planned everything. But when your plane lands, the announcement comes on. Welcome to Holland. And you can't leave. At first, you're just devastated. You mourn Italy. And that sadness might never totally go away. But if you let yourself, you start to look around. And you notice that Holland, well, it has windmills. It has tulips. It has its own kind of beauty.
And that's the whole lesson. It's not about pretending you don't miss Italy. It's about letting yourself truly grieve for the life you planned so you can finally be present enough to appreciate and maybe even love the unexpected life you actually have. So what does this all add up to? When you put all these stories together, what is the one big ultimate takeaway?
It's this simple but profound idea. We don't change in a vacuum. We change, we heal, we grow because of our connections with other people. That therapeutic relationship is where the magic really happens.
And a huge part of that connection is realizing this. It doesn't matter if you're heartbroken over a breakup or facing the end of your life. Pain is pain. It's not a competition. And the moment we stop trying to rank it is the moment we can actually start to connect.
At the end of the day, what this book really reminds us is that we're all fellow travelers on a very confusing road. We're all just trying to figure it out. And you know what? We really do need each other to find our way.
So we end with another quote from Jung, but this time it's really a question for you. He said, "Who looks inside awakes." Lori did it, her patients did it, so the question the book leaves us with is a big one. If you really, truly looked inside,
What do you think you would find?